Uh, what's up, guys? Let's see if we can get this on. Here we are, and we're gonna be talking about the winter weather here starting next week. It's gonna be very brutal. A lot of people call it hype. Some people call it magic. Whatever you guys want to call it, it's gonna come. You can either take the advice or you don't. I don't care. But I'm just letting you guys know that winter weather is coming next week. And it's here to stay. It's not just going to be a hit and run. I think it's going to stay honestly for like the next couple of weeks. But the most brutal cold is probably going to be between the 6th and the 9th of next week. It's going to be brutal cold. So let's go ahead and let's break this up into three different sections. So we're going to talk about the snow that we're getting here in the upper Midwest on Monday night into Tuesday morning. That's just like a fast clipper, not a lot of cold with the system though. So there could be some brief periods of moderate to heavy wet snow, but temperatures are going to be elevated, like around the mid to upper 30s in some locations, maybe freezing in some locations, but it's going to be like a wet snow. So here's an AM3KM picking up on that snow, that wet snow, right, coming in Monday night into Tuesday here across much of the upper Midwest. So you see it's over here, portions of South Dakota and Nebraska kind of get hit harder. That goes into portions of southern Iowa, of course, and then into portions of northern Illinois, northern Indiana, and then back into Michigan, and then obviously um, right there. So wherever it's colder, it's where you're gonna get more snow out of this. I think there could even be some freezing rain with this. Some areas could see some freezing rain out of this a little bit. So a little bit of freezing rain could be up maybe to a half of a tenth of an inch, or up to a tenth of an inch, or just a light glaze at this point, right? Um, but don't expect a major ice storm on this. You could see some freezing rain. You could see some sleet. Like I said, there's not a lot of cold with this system coming in Monday night, tomorrow night, into Tuesday morning. So that's why it's going to be of a heavy, wet snow in some locations, or maybe some light glaze, some light freezing rain. But there's going to be a mix of precipitation between wet snow and rain. You might start out as rain and switch to snow, or you could start out snow and switch back to rain. But this is what the NAM3 cam is currently picking up on. Here currently it shows the system coming in right here. Basically Monday night during the day. Well, during the day on Monday, see, it starts out as rain across Iowa, tracks across portions of southern Iowa, northern Missouri. There's snow on the backside, but there's just not a lot of cold air working with this system. We'll see what the real-time data says tomorrow. If there is cooler air, if there is more cooler air working on the backside, you could get some more briefly more moderate to heavy bands, but it could disrupt some traffic during the midday or late morning hours or early morning hours on Tuesday morning for the most part. But we'll probably see rain here start out unless there's more cooler air on the north side, probably Monday late night. Like I said, the system tracks off to the east. Some lake effect, lake enhancement there across the upper UP of Michigan, obviously northern Michigan, but not expecting a big mess out of this. Sorry, I'm coughing. Here's the HER model picking up on this as well. HER model not even showing us much colder air than what the NAM3 cam was showing. And like I said, it's not, there just isn't a lot of cold air working with this system. Look at the temperatures here as the system's coming by. Temperatures are mostly just in the mid to upper 30s, so it's gonna have a hard time sticking. It's starting to be slush in some areas. There is some cold air you can see kind of wrap around the backside of the system, but it's just not making it in time when the system's coming in. See, there's some warm air wrapping up, a lot of warm air wrapping up, even up to the north part of the system here. You can see the temperature difference here wrapping up right there. And the cold air is just not wrapping in a lot from the backside. So Monday night into Tuesday morning, that's your first system, maybe a slushy half an inch to maybe 2 inches of snow in some locations. Heavier probably towards South Dakota, Nebraska, maybe parts of Iowa could get a heavier accumulation out of that Monday night into Tuesday morning, or maybe portions of upper Michigan, but Illinois is just not looking very promising for that. Second story obviously is going to be the long range temperatures here. So we can see our temperatures here start getting colder throughout the week. And then as we go into the 8th and 9th, These are actual real-time temperatures right here. Look at the 8th and 9th here. So this is the 9th Thursday morning actual temperatures here. So Thursday morning showing actual temperatures on the GFS negatives for the most part, and that's not even the wind chill. Here's your wind chill. Here's your wind chill picking up on the GFS. What is this, Thursday morning? Yeah, here's Thursday morning of next week on the 9th. Well, okay, here's Thursday morning next week on the 9th, showing wind chills in the -20s to some locations, -30s. That's just the GFS forecast model. There's many other models we're going to go over, like the European, the Canadian model, but they all show the same thing. It's going to be brutal cold next week. And that's just the 9th. Look at Wednesday. Here's Wednesday morning. Here's Wednesday morning wind chills next week on the 8th. Still really brutally cold. Negatives out there. All negatives. Minnesota up there, South Dakota, Nebraska, you're really gonna feel this. Up there in North Dakota, -30 wind chills on the GFS. Here's Tuesday. Here's Tuesday morning wind chills in single digits and some negatives up there towards Minnesota. And we got Monday. So the cold air really starts coming in after that first system as it comes through next week. And then it just starts diving in. And as more systems coming in from west to east, of course. Thank you, I appreciate it. But as more systems keep coming in west to east, obviously it'll just keep bringing in more colder air. So like, I mean, like I said, it's just days and days and days on. It's just gonna be really, really cold, starting, around the 4th of next week, and then just going on so on and so on for the next couple weeks. It's gonna be brutally cold. And then we got the snow systems we're talking about here on the GFS model, of course. So we got the first one that comes in Tuesday, Monday night into Tuesday, right? So it's gone. There it goes. And then here's the next system, the next tricky system that we're talking about that could bring in a possible snowstorm somewhere. Still too far to tell. There's so many details that need to come into play. So there's like all over the place. We're not even going to talk specifics on it, but there's the possibility of a snowstorm somewhere next week between the 5th and the 6th. That comes by. That triggers lake effect snow on all the lakes. Cold air comes in behind it. You see the lake effect starts happening around the lakes. Other clipper systems come in, more cold air, so on, so on. So we're just gonna go out. We're gonna go out to probably this is just a deception, right? There's just some reasoning here. Don't pay too close attention to the totals on here. What I'm trying to get a point at is that when you get cold air that goes over the lakes, you can see the lakes here all have some sort of accumulation there around the lakes, right? All the Great Lakes have some sort of accumulation. Those are lake effect snow belts, west-northwest wind. That what happens when cold air rushes over the lakes. So we're gonna have a lot of cold air next week, and more systems that keep diving down with the cold air, and the energy is gonna kick off more lake effect snow, so on, so on. So the long forecast models obviously are not gonna pick up lake effect snow really good as what the high resolution models can, but that's just evidence there. If we look at the European forecast model here, because I really have to go after this anyway, that's the 18Z. I meant to click on the 12Z. So here's just the European model. Still shows snow over the next 2 weeks here around the Great Lakes up here. You got Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, Lake Erie over there. You can see there's some orange up there. Those oranges are usually 3 feet snow totals. Right here, portions of Western Michigan showing anywhere between 1 and 2 feet. The reason is that there's a really cold air here coming over the lakes, obviously, and that's going to trigger a ton of lake effect snow. So don't pay too much close attention to the totals or any totals out there, because we really don't even know till like 2-3 days in advance. When the higher resolution models pick up on it. Usually the HER model is really good at picking up 48 hours of lake effect snow. The RFS, but that's not even up and running right now. The Canadian 2.5, all those forecast models are really well at picking up on that. But the point is that we're going to have brutal cold next week starting. And here's just the European model. Still showing the same thing for next week. These are actual temperatures. See, the cold just is staying with us for the next 2 weeks, I'm telling you. But like I said, we're gonna have some really serious cold next week. Probably gonna stay with us for a couple weeks. The most serious days I'm probably looking at here is between the 6th and the 9th for some very serious cold. Could even extend even further on after that. So make sure you have good batteries in your vehicles. Obviously, anything you have to get done, probably get it done starting today into tomorrow. Because after that, it's gonna really start getting cold. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's gonna get really, really cold really quick. So make sure you guys get some stuff done. Obviously, and then we have the small system with some lacking cold, which would help it get better of a winter system. But we could be looking at a couple slushy accumulation there across northern Illinois, maybe some isolated areas see more, but um, it won't get colder till later on at night, so it's probably all going to be slush during the day, obviously. Tuesday late night into Monday late night into Tuesday morning. And then we got the other possible system coming in during midweek. We don't know where it's going to track, how strong the system's going to be, how much cooler is working with it, obviously. So we'll know then by details later on in midweek. And then we got, the remaining cold air, which is going to trigger the lake effect snow across Lake Michigan, and some of those areas could be looking up a long duration lake effect snow event. It's possible. We don't know the details yet. That's why I said 1 to 3 feet is possible, because our last long duration lake effect snow event, some areas picked up anywhere between 20 to 38 inches of snow, especially up there near Gaylord, um, Michigan, all the way up there. They picked up 3 to 4 feet of snow over 6 days or so. So long duration event of lake effect snow is possible, where someone could see a few feet of snow over a week or so. So those are all details that come into play during the rest of the week. Probably starting Tuesday, we'll probably pick up some more details and some further things, but we'll take it step by step on the current system within 48 hours out, and we'll kind of figure out what's going on from there. But other than that, we're going to be getting some extreme cold now. So winter's really going to kick into high gear now, and it's about to be a lot of fun. So other than that, stay tuned, be safe, and drive carefully. Thank you guys.